and welcome back to my channel where we are all crime, all black, all the time.
What's up, my crime watch cousins? Now that Judge Overrule has decided to release the quote-unquote full transcripts of this secret ex parte meeting, I say that because I don't think anybody truly believes that these are the full transcripts, unredacted with no deletions. I don't believe that. I mean, it might be, but just by the way Judge's behavior has been thus far, it's kind of like you can't pin it and pass them. Anyway, but now that we know what happened in that meeting, let's take a look at how we got here. How did we get here? And when you go back and watch the videos to see how we got here, it kind of frustrates you a little bit because even as a layperson that doesn't have a law degree and didn't go to law school, we can all say this should have happened, this should have happened weeks ago. We shouldn't be going through this now. Let's not forget when Adams and Sharp stood up and motioned that the trial be stopped when all this popped off. But now it's stopped, and of course Judge Overrule made it like it was his idea. But let's just go back over how we got here. I remember when Love asked for an ex parte meeting. I don't think very many people picked up on it because I haven't seen anybody talking about it. But I remember the moment she asked for an ex parte meeting. She didn't do it normal Adrian Love style. She wasn't loud. She wasn't boastful. It's kind of weird actually because she tries to get the judge's attention several times before he actually acknowledges her. Prior to her saying this did not come about until they found out that Melanette was going out of town. Once Melanette was going out of town, they found that out in open court. Hylton, Love, and Atkins began whispering. And I think that's when the plan was formed. You can kind of tell there's a shift in body language. I'm real big on body language. I believe that body language will tell you what words won't. And after that, there was a major shift in body language between Hylton, Love, and Atkins. Hylton kind of looked like she knew her homegirl was about to ask something. They really wasn't on the up and up, but she can't do nothing about it to stop it. You just gotta see, like, she puts her head down. I mean, the body language tells everything. But the way Miss Love is, how she's loud and boastful and commands attention in the room, she did not do that when she asked for this ex parte meeting. She did do it in open court, but she didn't do it to where she had all the parties' attention and people were paying attention to her. But just take notice. I'm gonna just go ahead and play the clip straight out through. But just take notice how she tries to get the judge's attention several times before he actually acknowledges her. I don't know what that's all about because it's kind of like, we heard her. Was he trying to get her to talk about it later? I don't know. But then she says it while they're like in the middle of handling something else. And she's like, Judge, there's an ex parte matter I'd like to take up with you at a later time. He just says okay, and everything keeps going. I don't even think the defense was paying attention hard enough to even hear her say that. But even if they did, I'm sure they fully well expected to get some kind of notice about an ex parte meeting, which they did not. But yes, in light of the transcripts, let's just go ahead and go back to how we got to where we are. Those transcripts are wild, but I'm really not actually surprised. I had said last week on a live, you could tell they fully well knew that man was playing take the fifth. They knew everything was strategic. They had him up at court all week, but they decided to do everything that they did on a Friday. So because they knew he was going to plead the fifth, they knew they were going to hold him in contempt. They knew they were going to lock him up. So they waited till Friday when they could lock him up over the weekend. They fully well were expecting Woody to hate going to jail so much that that weekend in jail was just gonna go by, and he was gonna come Monday, and there was gonna be no pull, no push, no nothing. He's gonna testify. That's what they expected. But like what he said, he didn't did more time than 2 years. So what else you got? It's only when they started the bull with all the extra stuff that they was talking about that he relented. And to me, I never really, yes, what was said in the meeting is very important because Brady, like, you know what I'm saying? But to me, I never really cared about what was said. It's the actual fact that the meeting was had, like, in the beginning. Because when have you ever heard of a judge having any kind of interaction with a sworn witness? They try not to have interactions with witnesses altogether, but especially a sworn witness that is currently on the stand. I mean, what they say, the appearance of impropriety is astounding. So I just the fact that the meeting was had to begin with, and nobody from the defense was able to be there. It gives the appearance of y'all got something shady going on. Like, what y'all trying to hide? So let's just run through the video.
Made an argument we didn't even need to have, because I could have certainly asked him based upon your proffer. Now you want to have it both ways. You can't do that.
Your Honor, I thought the state knew that,
and that's not what the point is. The point is, you as an advocate, you should have told me.
Pause. Just 1 second. Y'all see him trying to get buck up on bots like that? I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Bro don't even talk. So you know when he talk, he got something serious to say. But I find it crazy. This is another example of when the prosecution does something and he yells at the defense, because Brian Steele definitely said that bots told him he heard Woody in the hallway saying he was going to take the fifth too. He definitely mentioned him by name. Then yeah, in hindsight, bots maybe should have filed his own separate motion or whatever, but it's kind of like the judges, either he wasn't even listening to Steele when Steele was talking and heard Steele say that, or he just didn't give a damn because it was coming out of Steele's mouth. Because what's the difference in Steele telling you that bots heard it and bots telling you? They're all sworn officers of the court to tell the truth. So why didn't you believe Steele when Steele just told you the same thing? And now you yelling at this old man like he the problem. And I'm glad he stood up and said something and was like, okay, well, at least, I hope we both, since we both supposed to be professional, I hope it's equal on both sides. Then you're not gonna chump me. You old enough to be your granddaddy. I'm just playing. But nah, for real, that was rude. That was rude.
Both sides have an equal responsibility under the rules of professional responsibility.
Okay, as long as we're both responsible, that's fine.
All right, have a seat, sir. Thank you.
Is that okay?
No. What's your request, sir?
So in the attempt to avoid any spurious allegations moving forward, I would ask that Your Honor order that the deputies transport Mr. Copeland to the jail completely separed from any...
Yeah, thank you for reminding me of that. In our order, wait just 1 second. In the order of the incarceration, I'm going to I also have a keep separate order for him.
Sir, why are you acting like this was your idea? No, this wasn't your idea. You might have thought about it, but you ain't said nothing about it. He taking credit for sure whole idea.
For the transportation and the housing, because none of these gentlemen are going to say anything to him, but I don't even want anyone to claim that they did.
I think that's fair enough, and that's a good suggestion. All right.
We'll prepare.
Yes, Lieutenant Walker. So that will not be an issue? Okay. But we'll go ahead and have him, if you could also have him housed separately too? Okay. Thank you, madam. All right, anything else, counsels? All right, take a couple deep breaths this weekend, take a knee. Come back on Monday and let's get after it again, okay? All right, we'll see you on Monday morning at 8:30, okay?
Can you get us the list of names and then any exhibits for Monday's?
I think the only I don't know who is being called. We can find out. Miss Lovett and Miss Hylton and Mr. Atkins, who is going to be called? Let's assume that Mr. Copeland invokes again.
Your Honor,
Do you have some other witnesses that we can take up at that point?
Your Honor, we will apprise after we look at and reevaluate where we are, because our order of proof was building blocks that at this point began with Mr. Copeland. And there are certain things that have to take place before we can tell them anything. So
Okay.
we have to do that. We have to deal with that and where we are right now.
Anybody notice how the state don't ever have a plan B? Like, they don't ever have a backup plan to if something fall through. Like, if they got a witness that for whatever reason can't or won't testify, they never have a plan B. They always expect for whatever they want to happen. And they were fully well expecting to get Woody's testimony by any means necessary. This right here is letting us know that their entire case rests upon Woody's testimony. This is their star witness. And it's like, is this who you put on the stand to be a star witness? Like, it just seems like even if he was your star witness and y'all was having talks with him like y'all claim, did y'all tell him what y'all was going to talk about? He told you he lied. Like, if he came out in his mouth and told you he lied, as a officer of the law, you are not allowed to put that person on the stand. And Hylton full out told him, oh, you can lie. But anyway, anybody else peeped and caught on to the fact that Miss Love is trying to get the judge's attention 3 times now?
All right.
And that's just where we are.
Okay. Well, be thinking about what scenarios you'd like to have the court look at.
Yes, Your Honor.
Depending upon whether or not Mr. Copeland decides he'd like to invoke his privilege again. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
And Your Honor, go ahead.
Madam.
Mr. Sharp, he can have the floor.
Yes.
I'm just going to ask in courtesy of the deputies, could we just keep our clients here for just 5 minutes after court ends, 15 minutes after court ends? The attorneys would like to have a discussion with our clients.
Lieutenant Walker.
Okay, heads up, she's about to ask for it now, but turn your sound up because she's not, she's whispering and she's acting nervous, like she doesn't really want to ask it, so you can barely hear. So here she goes.
And Your Honor, the state has a matter we need to take up ex parte.
Okay.
And Your Honor, the state has a matter we need to take up ex parte.
Okay. All right. Lieutenant Walker has been asked by defense counsels as a corporeal body for them to be able to talk with their clients once you clear the courtroom. Yes. Can you make that happen?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So once everybody is cleared the courtroom, you just secure it and let them be in here along with their clients. Okay. Oh yeah, once we do that. Okay, all right. Okay.
One last thing, Your Honor. I just thought of this. Your Honor probably already thought of this. The no contact order with Mr. Copeland should probably also include not just these gentlemen, but other gentlemen that are on this indictment that are not sitting for trial. I think that would probably. Okay.
Okay. All right. All right. Okay, we'll see you Monday, okay? 8:30. We're in recess.
Now, knowing what we know about Love's typical demeanor and her personality, is this typical of her? Was it typical of her to not command the attention of everybody in the room so that everybody can hear her ask for that ex parte meeting? Was it typical of the judge to ignore her saying "Your Honor" 3 or 4 times prior to her asking it? Was it typical for Hylton to look stressed as if she knew what Love was about to ask and that it was messed up? It's a whole bunch of jungle bunny going on in this courtroom, but I'm glad somebody's finally doing something about it. We'll see what happens in the next episode as YSL turns the courtroom drama.